Hello everyone! Welcome back to some more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer. This is the Lizardmen versus the Tomb Kings. For me, for this army, we're trying to stay away from just having a bunch of like Bastillodons and the big dinos, so I have none of those, I guess, except for just the thing that Krokar is riding. Hey, we have Krokar as leadership. Behind him, we have 5 normal Asaurus warriors, more leadership in the Skink Priest of the Heavens with the Harmonic Convergence and Curse of the Midnight Wind, and then also a Skink Chief flying above. Then for the rest of our army, pretty simple, we just have 5 Feral Cold Ones, 3 over here, 2 on the other flank, just to remind you what their stats are. High armor piercing damage, they have a pretty decent charge bonus, but after that they kind of falter with the only 20 melee attack and melee defense. They do have 90 armor, but they have very low hit points because there's very few models of them. But they can pack quite a punch and they are super cheap. They're like 450. So we got 5 of them in here to see how well they'll do, and then we have 2 Cold One Spear Riders, 1 on each flank there and there. For the Tomb Kings, we have the renowned Eyes of the Desert, so these are the stalking, anti-large, stalker units. For the front line over here, we have 3 skeletal spearmen, including in the center the poison one, these renowned Nakesh Scorpion Legion, 2 Tomb Guards. Behind those, we have the Necrosphinx and a Tomb Scorpion, the leadership of Archon the Black on his chariot with his spells, and a Necrotect. I haven't really seen Necrotect be used too often, and honestly, I need to use them a little bit more too, just to try them out in multiplayer. Then we also have 1 Skeletal Archer, and then the Chosen of the Gods, an Ushabti Greatbow. And that is the army. So I was thinking going into this that a line of Saurus Warriors are going to be good enough to deal with anything that the Tomb Kings can put against us in terms of infantry. Now we are going to take some damage from the Chosen of the Gods, because of course we will. And after that, we are going to also take some Fate of Buna damage. I believe it's going to be on this Saurus Warrior, which is going to hurt. Fate of Buna hurts. It's a very powerful spell. And that, along with the Tomb Scorpion, is actually going to make an infantry fight not as one-sided as I thought it was going to be. And I'm saying that right now because we're probably going to be focusing on the fight with the Feral Cold Ones, of which, again, we have 5 of them, and the 2 Cold One Spear Riders. So we have, obviously, the flanking force coming over here. We're going to try and deal with the Archers and the Chosen of the God with these Feral Cold Ones here and the Cold One Rider. And then this Necrosphinx, which is heading over here to the Saurus Warrior, we're going to try and deal with Krokar. Where's my thing at? Krokar, and then all of these forces here. Now, there's only 1 anti-large force here, which is the Cold One Spear Riders, and I guess Krokar too. But again, the Feral Cold One's just armor piercing. I'm going to try and surround these Stalker units and see if we can overwhelm them with just a bunch of armor piercing damage. They are going to deal a lot of damage in return, though, to the Feral Cold Ones. They are not very defensively focused with only a 20 melee defense. There goes that Fate of Buna on the center, and with the help of the Poison Spears, they're actually going to do a lot of good damage to my Saurus Warriors. Again, was not expecting them to even take that much damage, but I wasn't thinking about Fate of Buna at the beginning here. The Tomb Guard and the Scorpion are going to be dealing with that Saurus Warrior, and then over here we're dealing with another Tomb Guard and some Skeletal Spearmen. You can see against the normal Skeletal Spearmen, the Saurus Warriors have no problem. But aided with the spells and other units, they do have a problem. Over here, we are going to try and do our best to take out the Necrosphinx, the Krokar, the Cold Ones, and the 3 Feral Cold Ones that are over here, but we're also dealing with the anti-large Stalker units, which are just pummeling our Feral Cold Ones. I was hoping that the Feral Cold Ones' armor-piercing damage would basically do like an even trade with the Stalkers, but you can kind of see, it doesn't necessarily work out that well. Another one of our Cold Ones are over here trying to deal damage to the Greatbow unit that was pulling out because we were chasing them. And honestly, I thought this fight was going to go better, but the Ushabti Greatbows here are going to destroy these Cold Ones pretty single-handedly in melee combat. I thought the Feral Cold Ones would do a lot more damage to the Greatbow unit, but they do not. This one, though, did finish off the Skeletal Archers for the most part. Now they're going to try and do a rear charge here on the Stalking unit. These 2 Feral Cold Ones are going to come back, and you can see I'm already hitting one with a Cold Blood to try and get it back to as high hit points as possible. I have these King Priests of the Heavens trying to support this battle over here. I've cast 2 Curses of the Midnight Wind to try and keep our Saurus Warriors alive. There comes the summoned Ushabti into the back of our Saurus Warriors to try and win the infantry fight in favor of the Tomb Kings. You can see Archon the Black trying to do what he can on top of his chariot, as well as the Necrotect. I am trying to support the fights with the King Chief. Right now we are dealing with the Necrosphinx, trying to keep it poisoned for as long as we can to try and lower its stats. You can see here that with Spirit Leech and the Necrosphinx, Krokar actually kind of took a lot of damage really quickly. He was sitting pretty for most of that, but then at the very end there, Spirit Leech and the Necrosphinx did a lot of damage. But we did take down the Necrosphinx, so that is something. The Ushabti Greatbows are not actually facing this way. They're facing, I believe, that way, back that way. A lot of that ways. So right now I don't have to really worry about them hitting our units over here because they're dealing with the Feral Cold Ones that are now coming back from routing all the way, over on that side. Skin Chief is just going to sit up here and now start killing Arkham the Black with his ranged damage, which he has a high weapon damage. Very high weapon poison damage, which is pretty good. This is the dome that Arkham the Black can summon, I believe, up to 3 times in combat. It is the Liber Mortis. So every unit in this area gets 44% physical resistance, which is really good, especially against all these Source Warriors, because a lot of the damage is not being negated, at least for that short amount of time. Still dealing with Archon, it's still dealing with the Necrosphinx, obviously the Tomb King, because we haven't sent any forces to try and take it out, except for these Cold One Spear Riders, who were also dealing with, I believe, Spearmen. They were also fighting Arkham the Black and something else. So you can see they are taking heavy damage. The other Cold One Spear Rider also is taking a lot of heavy damage, so a lot of my mobile forces are near death, very depleted, not much left, and same thing goes for our Source Warriors. The Source Warriors, the only ones even in action still, are there, and there, and you can see that they all have taken a massive amount of damage. So now we're finally being able to turn on the Tomb Scorpion with our whatever's left of our Cold One Riders. We're going to try and finish off Arkham the Black with that Shotgun Blast. Now we're going to try and finish him off in melee with Krokar. We're going to cast Harmonic Convergence on Krokar to try and make sure he doesn't take any more hits, or as few as hits as possible, as we try to finish off Arkham the Black. The Ushabti Great Bow is going to reroute our Feral Code Ones, I think, for maybe the 3rd time over there, and then they're going to start focusing fire over on my leadership. And it's a brutal fight. A lot of my Source Warriors are dead. Again, my mobile forces are dead. Luckily, Krokar, there's not much else that can really challenge him. The Tomb Scorpion has tried to get to Krokar, so it's been taking a lot of free hits from our Feral Code Ones and our Cold One Spear Riders. And there we go. We're going to finish off Arkham the Back with a charge. And the Tomb Scorpion is not really going to be able to deal with Krokar in melee, especially supported by the other units nearby. Source Warrior is still barely hanging on there, but we are turning the tide at this point. We're going to try and finish off the Tomb Scorpion with our Cold One and our Source Warriors. Can't remember. But you can see that I'm going to be pulling off Krokar and these Feral Code Ones to try and deal with this thing, but the enemy player is going to give up at this point in the game. It is a very close game. The Ushabti Great Bows probably would have got off at least one other salvo on Krokar, but I don't think it would have been enough to turn the tide, so I think that was a victory, even without, you know, leaving the game. So, good game to El Staios. Really close one. The battle with our Source Warriors against the front line did not go as well as I thought it would. Like, we still got a lot of kills with the Source Warriors, as you can see here, but the support of the Tomb Scorpion, which I couldn't really deal with. I was too busy with the Necrosphinx, the Stalkers, and the Great Bows. I mean, I could have done anything, but I chose not to. So since I didn't support my Source Warriors against the Tomb Scorpion, it got a decent amount of kills, and with the assistance of the Tomb Guards and especially these renowned Spearmen, like 55 kills against a Source Warrior from a Spearman seems kind of ridiculous. But I mean, the unit that they were fighting did take a lot of damage from Fate of Buna first, so they were just kind of cleaning up at that point, I think, is why they had 55 kills. One-on-one, I don't see these Spearmen doing nearly as well against the Source Warrior, but, you know, Fate of Buna kind of changes a lot of combat. The Stalkers did really well at killing a lot of my Feral Cold Ones. This Chosen of the Gods in melee killed my Feral Cold Ones really quick. Again, I was really expecting the Feral Cold Ones to do a lot of damage. I didn't think they would win, but I thought they would at least bring these things down to half, but no, not at all. The Feral Cold Ones, for the most part, didn't really show many kills because I had them on, like, the monster units, the high-armored monster units, so they're not really going to get many kills that way, except for this one who killed the Archer unit. Overall, I still think the Feral Cold Ones are really cool. I didn't really send them against their priority targets. I sent them against units that can do well against large creatures, which they are. But I was just curious, because I'm testing this game since I'm getting back into multiplayer. I'm just trying to see how everything flows. But again, good game to El Staios. Hope you enjoyed the Lizards versus the Tomb Kings. I do like Lizards, especially when you don't have just a bunch of dinos. I really like the Cold Ones. Anyway, let's get to a cinematic view. You almost want to think of them as raptors. You almost do, except their head was just not that. They still look cool, though. I like the Feral Cold Ones, because they're so cheap. If these things were like even 100 more, I think, I probably would still use them. Not 100. Well, let's just keep them at what they are. Let's not talk about increasing their price. I think they're really good what they are. Also, these dudes look pretty cool too. I love the animations of the Saurus warriors and like the skinks. So good. Two titans going at it. Source Warriors, for what they were fighting against, I think they held on for a long time. It almost looks like this buff was coming out of the Tomb Scorpion. Tomb Scorpion's animations are so good. That's kind of cheating, since his chariot isn't even touching the ground. It's a filthy cheater. He's about to get shotgun in the face. Ooh, that also probably hit some of my Source Warriors. Where you going, Archon? Where you going? Oh, the Feral Cold one stole the kill. Oh, Crockar didn't even get it. Damn, I didn't notice that. The kill steal. That was rude. I guess that's gonna do it right there. Right? Weird. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the battle, and I will see you all next time. Take care.